Hey guys, it's June 6th and we're out here pulling off the remainder of our honey. It's pretty early in the day. We wanted to get started early before it gets hot because we're using fume boards and that can be pretty rough on the bees, so stay tuned, we'll show you how we do it. So guys, what we're using a product called Beego. I really like Beego. It works better than any of the others in my opinion, but it stinks more than the others too. It's pretty brutal. It smells like vomit. And the fume board, all it is basically a 1.5 inch spacer. These have aluminum on the top for heat, but you don't really need that, and some felt, and we just sprinkle a little bit of Beego on it, and we'll place that on top of the hive, and it'll push the bees down into the lower chamber of the box. Alright guys, on this there's no honey in this box. This is simply a dead out colony that we had that I put this box on top of just so the bees could police it and clean up all this, the frames and stuff. So there's no honey in it, but we're going to push these bees down so we can get in there. Okay guys, with these fume boards, one thing to keep in mind, if it's pretty warm, you can leave it cracked up top. We don't do that when it's cool in the mornings. We just put it on there and let it run the bees out. Now keep in mind, if it's real hot, you may run all your bees out of the front of the box. And it's common to see them hanging out at the front for a while after you use a fume board when it's pretty hot outside. So that's why we like to do it early. It keeps the bees normally in the brood chamber. So we'll put this back on. And it doesn't take a whole lot of the Beego. You're not trying to run the bees out of the box, you're just trying to clear the supers. Another way to do it's with a bee escape. And that's basically a board you put on that's got a triangle escape mechanism in it, and the bees will go through the escape and can't figure the way to get back up into the super. One reason I don't prefer those is because of hive beetles. Sometimes hive beetles can hatch before we can get back around to them, and then it just makes a mess out of your super. So that's why we don't use them. They're great if you've got time to get to all your colonies and time to check them, but our preferred method is a fume board. Another thing we like to do, guys, when we're pulling the last bit of the honey off is go through each box and just check and see if it's queen right. Sometimes we still have swarming issues later in the season, and we need to make sure that all these colonies have queens and are queen right before we waste a mite treatment on it and time and resources, but two, so that we can take care of the issue if there is a queen problem. Now this colony's got a queen, I can see that, I can see eggs. The pattern's a little broken up, but you got to consider we're just now getting out of the flow. There's no flow going on right now, so to speak, so she's going to naturally decline, but I'm going to want to mark this colony to come back and check it and make sure that they are indeed doing good. And some of this could be mite issues. We did treat in the spring, but mites can cause a spotty brood pattern as well. Just going to set this down. Check 1 or 2 more frames. Okay, yeah, this one looks more to my liking, especially for the time of year. Nothing at all wrong with this queen. Couple little things, a bald brood. That could be where wax moths went through there and tunneled through. You can see they're open right there. But overall, this colony looks good. We'll get it a mite treatment on here as soon as we can, and we'll start preparing for winter. That's the next step, guys. As soon as we start taking honey off, it's time to start preparing these colonies for winter. And we had been running single brood management throughout the winter, but this year we're going to leave them with super of honey just to alleviate some of our feed costs, and hopefully that will improve our successes. We didn't lose a lot with starvation or anything like that, but the summer dearth is real hard on bees in our area, so the more they have and feel like they've got, the better we're going to be. We'll leave this super of honey on them. And that'll help alleviate our cost in feeding, but keep in mind we will come back through and we'll trickle feed these colonies to keep that queen stimulated. Well, we cracked this colony open and we were looking and we were wondering why it didn't make any honey. Well, I'm not sure if you saw all those swarm cells or not, but they're all hatched. There's no telling how many swarms we lost out of this colony, probably 2 or 3, a primary and a few secondaries, and they've just not made any honey. We missed it. Should have been in it on top of it better, but we definitely didn't catch it. I was looking to see if I can find a virgin in here. There's probably more than one with all those cells attached. Maybe not, but we'll have to keep a check on this colony because you only have about a 70% chance in our area of getting a virgin queen mated and returned back to the colony. So we may have to introduce a queen to this colony later on. The brood break's welcomed, especially this time of year because of mite control. It really helps with the mites. But we were wanting some honey off of this colony, but it goes to show you if you're not on top of swarm control, you're not gonna make much of a honey crop. Still a good looking colony. We just got to make sure it gets a queen. Every so often you have to reapply the Beego, and that's about all we use right there. It doesn't take a lot. In the hot weather you want to use less. It's a little cool out here this morning, so we're having to use a little bit more, but you definitely want to err on the side of caution and use less than what you think you need, because you can run all your bees out. Okay, this colony we know swarm, and we left it alone. We didn't come back through and check it. As you can see, they do have a queen, so nice pattern. I'm checking for eggs. It's hard to see out here in the light. They've got young larvae, so I'm happy with it. I don't need to go any farther. And then again, this colony didn't make us any money with honey. So, but they look good. I'm happy with them. This will be a good colony going through the fall and winter. We'll feed them up. We'll get the mite treatments taken care of, and next year we'll make some honey off of it, if we catch the swarm. Just want to show you how this fume board actually clears out the bees. If you look down through here, this colony was packed with bees. And as you can see, it clears it out really good. And if you look in the front, we're not running the bees out of the colony. We're just pushing them down to a lower box. So it's going to vary by how long you need to leave the fume board on. We check it every couple of minutes, honestly, just to see how it's doing, and then we'll adjust if we need to put more Beego on or leave it on longer. But we don't just leave it on for 10-15 minutes and then come back and check, because you could cause your bees to abscond. I've never seen it, but I could see it happening. You'll definitely run them out and they'll be hanging under your bottom board. So just keep in mind, just use it with caution and care, and they work really good. Wash your bee suit when you're done, because you're going to stink, because it smells really bad. And like I say, we're going to leave this super of honey on. It's a new strategy we're using. We're going to run a deep and a medium and see if it's better. It's going to cost us less money feeding them throughout the summer, because we were feeding pretty heavily. So we want to just go to a trickle feed on them instead of having to constantly put feed on them to just get them through the dirt. So that's what we're doing. Okay guys, on this one, this is a super. It's not capped over. It's got some honey in it, but it's not a lot. This is a split we made earlier in the season. They're doing really good. They're going to need more space anyway, especially with it getting hotter. give them a little more room to get into. So we're just going to drop this super and give them some feed on this colony, just like so. We did get all the bees out of it. We're not mixing bees, but they can use some more space, and it'll give them some food, and that way we don't have to constantly worry about feeding them. And we're just taking that off another colony. Nothing wrong with doing that. Just set it on top. Clear the bees out, set it on top, and you'll be good to go. Well, guys, we've been working hard today. We pulled off about 15 to 20 supers out of our home yard. We're in the honey house now. We're getting ready to stack them, turn the fans on, blowing through them, and we've got our dehumidifier running. So all these frames aren't all the way capped over. They're probably fine to extract, but we want to pull that moisture down just a little bit more. So we're going to run it with the dehumidifier and the fan for about 24 to 48 hours and pull that moisture content down anymore. I think it makes a better product. The honey's thicker. It's just better in my opinion. So that's what we're going to do. Then we'll when we get to extracting, we'll bring you guys along. But like I said, we use the fume board and Beego to get all these supers off. We're going to dry them out over the next few days, and then we'll extract them. We've already extracted some. Sorry we didn't bring you along. It's been hectic. We're trying to get ready to go on vacation and get all our work done and everything else. But did want to bring you along today, kind of give you an idea of how we do it as sideliners. We really appreciate you watching. If you got any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching, and happy beekeeping.